Yeah, no, friends, this is Collin again, here at Stone Ridge Children's Center. Today we're going to be just reading a story for literacy. It's like different people have different versions of stories and that. This one's this one's a Mohawk story about how the bear lost his tail, because they say a long time ago bears used to have like really long, nice furry tails like that. And then they were really, because their tails were so big and nice and furry like that. Then they were kind of, I guess, like boastful, like always walking around, swishing their tails around, showing off and kind of thing. So this story is just about this story's been around just about as long as like bears have been around. So there's all different types of bears: brown bears, black bears, grizzlies, different types. So this one's about a black bear. So it was way back during the beginning of an ancient winter. It said that the bear came around, and well, like in the languages we call a bear like a Detenatgwa'ta, so that's in Cuba. So it was during that ancient winter, the bear come around with his tail switching like that, and he came across the fox, like in the Cuba language you call a fox his height. It almost sounds like brown, but it's just a little bit different. The fox was on a frozen surface of the lake, and around him there were all different types of fish. So you can imagine like seeing the fox sitting on the lake, and there's all different types of fish, because right in the wintertime there's not a lot of animals and not a lot of berries or anything out, and so if you can find some open water, a lot of animals will try to fish. So his height was on the frozen surface of the lake, and around him were all kinds of fish that was freshly caught. And like the Detenatgwa'ta there, he was really fond of like trout. So you're seeing a fox sitting there, and he started getting hungry and started acting like kind of friendly and that, because he's seen so much fish there. So he was hoping that he could have something to eat. So then the Detenatgwa'ta asked the Hishai how he came upon the possession of such a nice number of succulent fish, especially that he likes the trout kind of fish that were there. The Hishai, he told the fox, or he told the Detenatgwa'ta, that there was a trick to catching fish in the winter. Said you had to find a nice spot and put a hole in the ice. So kind of like how he's sitting there, there was a little hole in the ice there. And then you dip your tail into the hole. Eventually a fish will bite onto that tail, because the tail will be in there moving about, and that fish will try to bite onto it. And with the quick movement of the tail, you can pull it out real fast, and the fish will come flying out of the water. So then you could have your fish like that. So then the Detenatgwa'ta, at this ancient time, he had like that long, nice, shiny tail. Like it was very, like really looked nice. So he was twitching it around excitedly, with the thought that he could catch a lot of nice fish with it. He asked his height if he could use the hole in the ice that was already dug. The fox told him that it was pretty well fished out in that area, and that he would show him to another spot the bear might try his luck. So then they moved to a spot closer to the shore where the water was shallower. Fox knew that there wouldn't be much fish, if any, in that area. Usually fish go out into deeper water. So plus, like the fox, like some people say they're like tricksters. They like playing around, and long time ago they used to play tricks on everyone. So then they found a spot, and then the bear dipped his big black tail into the freshly dug hole in the ice, and they sat down. He wondered how long it would take to land the fish. his height told him to be patient, just relax. Sooner or later, a fish would bite. So basically, telling him not to get too excited. Just like take your time in it. So the time passed, and the bear became drowsy. He thought of all the nice fish that he would soon have. Plus, he became drowsier. Then he even thought about the nice long sleep, because that's what a lot of the animals do, like in the wintertime. Because like it'll get cold, so then they'll eat lots of food, and what they'll do, they'll hibernate, so they'll try to sleep throughout the whole winter. So then time passed, and the bear was drowsy, and he was thinking about that long winter's nap. Then the bear awakened, and he was surprised to see that he was covered in snow, and it was all over his body. He had fallen asleep, and he had slept through the night. Plus, there was no fish on, and his tail was frozen to the lake water. He looked around, and there was his height, the fox. He was laughing, and that funny kind of sound, that almost squeaky kind of noises and that. So that's probably what had woke the bear up. Then like anybody, if they don't know somebody's joking and that, like people, they don't like when people laugh at them. So that's what happened with the Detenatgwa'ta. He became very angry that he had been tricked. That he leaped with his paws to try to catch that fox. When he lunged, his powerful legs and his body, plus the fact that his tail was frozen securely in the ice, resulted in that the tail come snapping off, and it was still stuck in that water. So that's just kind of how this story kind of says that's how bears went from having these long kind of shiny, nice looking tails to having these little weeny short stubby tails now. So that's the end of the story. And well, I guess like they're all stories, they have like a moral, and like different things we learn about it, and well, like it just talks about like how the different animals act towards one another. Like they say the fox was always a trickster and that, and like the bears, they used to have these long tails like that, so they were kind of boastful, and showing off. So yeah, so that's just the story about how the bear lost his tail. So when you guys do come back to daycare, like we're hoping it's going to be soon. We're not really sure yet, so this is just kind of how like we'll be dressed. We'll just be dressed a little bit different. So like our visors, just so everyone will be safe. Like wearing our masks too, because there's the big sickness that's still around. There's not really sure on how that's going to go. So we're just hoping that everyone will stay safe. So we gotta make sure we wear our masks. So we'll even have like masks for all you guys to wear too. Like once you come to daycare, so everyone will kind of look the same, and well, we'll try to do things the best that we can. So Yama, this has been Collin. So hopefully we'll see you soon.